This is the fourth video describing Theta Grid Adjustment rules. And in this video, I'd like to show you how to write a rule, a Theta Grid Adjustment rule, that actually does some changes. But before we do that, I want to show you something else. See up here it says Generate-4. This is the Generate button. And TBTA will tell you how many issues there are in this verse that it's aware of. So this is saying there are 4 issues in this verse that TBTA is aware of. There are 3 types of issues that TBTA is aware of. Number 1, unlinked concepts. So look here, there are 4. There are 4 issues. Cause is a concept that's not linked to any target word. We're going to link this to a word. I'll double click, and I've already entered the word cause. Now, as soon as we do that, the number of issues goes to 3. Cause is still in purple, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Let's link this concept to a target word. And now there are 2 issues left. And if we look over here, so there are unlinked concepts. There are also unspecified generic genitival relationships. We don't have any of those in this verse. The third and final one is Theta Grid Adjustment rules that haven't been dealt with. And what I mean by that, okay, these are in purple, and there's still 2 issues. That's telling us that these Theta Grid Adjustment rules haven't been dealt with yet. And we can click here. Okay, sleep is a semantically simple word. So there's a pretty good chance your language will have a verb that matches our word for sleep. Now, sleep only takes an agent noun phrase. It's intransitive. There's never a patient, never a source, never a destination. It's a very simple Theta grid. If we can come here, let's say our language has a good word for sleep and we don't need this rule to do anything. We don't want to turn it on. Instead, we'll say unnecessary. And now TBTA knows we've looked at this rule and we've dealt with it. And now, well, it's in red because I clicked on it. It's no longer purple. And now we're done to just one issue in this verse, and it's a Theta Grid Adjustment rule for cause. We can click here. This rule, we do want something. We do want to make changes for English. I'm going to turn it on, though. Your 2 choices are turn it on and then have it do something, or tag it as unnecessary. You want this rule status off? Yes. If you tag it as unnecessary, it will be set off. But either tag it as unnecessary or turn it on. Either way is fine. And now we see that it says generate, and there are no issues that TBTA is aware of. That doesn't mean it's going to generate a perfect sentence. There may be other issues in your grammar, but you can always look here to see if there are any issues that TBTA is aware of. So I wanted to point that out. And now let's look at one example where you really need your Theta Grid Adjustment rule to do something. This is Isaac loved Rebecca much, or Isaac loved Rebecca a lot. One language I worked in, they didn't have a word for love. They didn't have a verb. Their equivalent, okay, this is romantic love, if you look up here. For when someone loves another person romantically, they would say, Isaac sat with Rebecca happily. So let's write a Theta Grid Adjustment rule that will make that change. First, let's link love with to sit. And now let's write the Theta Grid Adjustment rule. So right now it will say, Isaac sat Rebecca. We want it to say with Rebecca, so we'll say insert a preposition, target words, add positions. We don't have the word with yet, so let's add it. And we'll want this to be an oblique, not an object. And we'll say oblique 1, not applicable. And let's add an adverb phrase in the output structure, and we'll insert the target word happily, which will be an adverb. We don't have it, so let's add it. So Isaac sat with Rebecca happily a lot. This rule is turned off. Do you want the rule status set to on? Yes. So now when we click the Generate button, Isaac sat happily. Okay, we still need to adjust our our noun phrase structure rules so that with will come before Rebecca. We probably want this adverb much to come at the end. But that's how we would do it. Isaac sat with Rebecca happily. So that concludes the section on theta grid adjustment rules.